name is Jordan, also known as Scraps. Today I'll be guiding you through the Silent Dream Bells synth. It's very exotic, and it is from the Exotic Refill, so it's very eerie, but it has a nice tone to it, and I'll show you how to connect everything and master it so that way you can throw it in with your tracks instantly. So, I do use a rack extension, and that's it. So take a listen to this demo example. Now, I would describe the synth as kind of a dreamy pad. It kind of reminds me of those like video games that you would play that would have like a mall scene. You would always hear like something like this. Attention all shoppers, today we are having a 50% off sale on all select shoes. Come on down to the shoe department for 50% off shoes. That's how I would describe that synth. Anyways, let's get to it. So as you can see, I already have a pre-combinator here, and that's to actually, let us start from scratch. So what I normally like to do is right-click in order to bring up my menu of tools. But if I do a control-click, I can get the same menu. So what I'm thinking of is going to Utilities and creating a combinator from there, just to tidy everything together. After this, we're going to go to our instruments and plug in a Thor polyphonic synthesizer. Let's see. We're going to open up our programmer. I'm not going to mess... nah, never mind. We're only going to use... Actually, let's tackle our oscillators first, then we'll go through filters, and then finally some routing, and then we'll tidy up the synth to get it a little bit tweaked, a little nicer. So, right now, for oscillator 1, I'm going to turn up the PW amount all the way to 127. And that's it. I'm going to turn on number 2 for filter. Oscillator 2 can go into filter 1. That's what we want. For oscillator 2, we want to choose an FM pair. We want to take it down an octave, turn the carrier to 9, turn the mod to 3, turn the FM to 64, and that's it for oscillator 2. Okay, so for oscillator 3, we're going to choose another FM pair. We're going to turn the carrier to 9. We're going to push our FM amount to 106 instead of 64. Hold shift so that way I can get finite numbers. There we go. And I want to turn the mod to 5. I want to bring it up an octave, so octave 5. And that's it. And we want to route this to filter 2. So for filter 1, we want this to be right smack dab in the middle, so 857 Hertz. We want our drive, yeah, that's good. So that's it for filter 1. For filter 2, we want this to be a state variable filter. We turn up the resonance to about 36. And we leave the frequency where it is right now. And also we select a peak. And for the high pass, turn it up a bit. Turn on chorus. And for the attack envelope, we just leave it as is. Now to route our sources. For source oscillator 1, we want to set the amount to 50. We're going to choose for the destination, we're going to choose oscillator 2, and we're going to choose FM amount. We want to choose the amount scale to be 100, and we want it to be oscillator 2 for the scale. Now for our second source, we'll choose oscillator 2. We send the amount to 50. We send the destination to oscillator 3, FM amount. We set the amount to 100. And for the scale, we set it to oscillator 3. For our third source, third and a final source, we choose oscillator 3. The amount is going to be 100% or 100. We're going to choose oscillator 1, PW. And we're going to choose the amount to be 100, and the scale is going to be oscillator 3. Now if we have a listen, we're almost there. So I'm going to close my show programmer, since we simply do not need to see its insides anymore. After this, I'm going to right click and go to Studio Effects to create an RV7000 Advanced Reverb. I'm going to set the dry wet to about 87, and I will set the decay to 88. After this, we're going to go to Studio Effects and create a Line 6 bass amp just to turn on the compressor. After this, we're going to go right-clicking on the instrument. We're going to go to Creative Effects and choose our Screen for Distortion. For this, we're going to choose the damage type to digital. We're going to send P1 and P2 all the way to 127. And we're going to take the damage to about 40. And we're going to turn it off. After this, we're going to create an M-class equalizer found in Studio Effects. We're going to turn on low cut, parameter 1, parameter 2. For parameter 1, we're going to take this about 169 Hz, gain down, Q all the way up. For parameter 2, we're going to take this to about 3.465, gain down, Q all the way up, and make sure to turn it on. For parameter 2, 3.156 kilohertz, gain down all the way and Q all the way up. Now, unfortunately, I don't want the gain to be all the way down. I want it to be about -1.4. So there we go. After this, I'm going to go to my Studio Effects, and this is where a rack extension comes in. I'm going to turn my saturation to about 3.3 and set it to the low type. After this, I'm going to create an M-class maximizer. Take off limiter, set soft clip on, and make sure it's at 127, and then release to auto. Then after this, I'm going to right click on my M-class maximizer, create a Line 6 bass amp, turn it on, and there you guys have it, your very own Silent Bells Dream Pad, or percussion, or mall synth talk box, however you like. And I'll check you guys out Monday for another special tutorial. Attention all shoppers, we have